You're listening to DraftKings Network.
Hi, I'm Ben Stiller from the Academy Awards snub movie Dodgeball. You know, this election is a lot like Dodgeball. Kamala Harris is the average Joe underdog, and no, this isn't a time for jokes. You know what? It's way too important. Donald Trump wants to terminate the Constitution. Project 2025 will give him nearly unlimited power. We can't let him get anywhere near the White House. So, vote for Kamala Harris. Yeah, see, that was better. The serious version was much better, right?
Paid for by Harris for President.
Hey everybody, cool contest alert. Head over to DraftKings.com/pools for your opportunity to make predictions on the DraftKings Weekend Observations presented by Miller Lite contest. Basically on the October 29th edition of Weekend Observations, you get to make predictions on what will happen. How many times will he be interrupted? How many beeps will there be? And if you win the contest, you can win a trip for two to Miami. You get to hang out with us here, watch a taping of the show, get to see all the sights and smells, and then get to watch a Thursday night football game at a Flanagan's, a local wonderful establishment with cast members of the show.
I want to make people understand what this contest is, because it is legitimately something that I've been wanting to do since the first time I talked to DraftKings. How do we figure out how to give people valuable things who care about the show so much that can sort of wager on the show? And we've finally gotten to be able to do it. And that prize, I will tell you, as I've told you before, when we were at ESPN, that kind of prize, a lesser prize than that, actually, which was just sort of go to a Heat game with me and my dad, but not have dinner at Flanagan's with like our show while being involved in our show. It's legitimately a $30,000, $35,000 prize 5-10 years ago. Before the internet.
So you're saying this is $1 million value, essentially.
I'm just saying that being able to spend that time with our show is something in the past that people have paid tens of thousands of dollars to do. And at inflated prices, if we were still doing it exactly that way, I could argue it's worth a great deal more than that right now. That prize, if you get it right while betting on Stugotz's Weekend Observations.
Well, predicting. Okay.
Can I clarify one thing? You said October 29th Weekend Observations. Just so we're clear, that's a Tuesday.
Yes.
So it's a Tuesday of Weekend Obs. Got it.
The Tuesday edition of Weekend Obs. Hopefully Stugotz is here for it. Hopefully.
We don't know if he will be, but it's a big prize. Mike, just cleaning up one thing from earlier in the show. Because you yelled at us with a great deal of resentment, I had to buy into a different company in order to talk about FSU week. Hashtag FSU WEAK. You feel like you have, in the last, I'm going to say 5 games, totally changed the power structure in Florida State college football. FSU was 13-0 not that long ago. Now you're mocking them and expect to win.
It wasn't popular. If you go back to last year's shows when we were talking about FSU, their CFP chances, it wasn't very popular for me to say they built their whole thing on a house of cards. They did very well in the portal. Mike Norvell didn't want to play Jordan Travis, and he kind of lucked into having Jordan Travis turn into a player that, if the media had time to establish a narrative properly, considering the reasons they were held out of the CFP, should have won the Heisman over Jaden Daniels. Because the whole argument of keeping them out was that guy went out, and he totally changed that program. But they didn't have anything behind him, and it wasn't popular. Everybody was saying Norvell was a good hire, Cristobal was a terrible hire, ha, 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 ha. And here we are, all the Florida schools, including the ones that were trying to get in the game, are all really struggling. Some of them, in fact, Florida's probably in the best shape of all the others right now. So I think college football is one of those sports where in the moment you want to overreact, but in today's day and age, knowing how different it is and knowing how certain coaches go about things, you got to reserve judgment on some guys. And it's not popular to say wait till year 3. But Mario Cristobal's proven to be one of those guys.
In order to promote all of the things that we have going on, Izzy, I want to tell people, first of all, Mike, repeat to them again how it is that they can get some of your exclusive betting information, because you have turned into somebody who is aggressively consuming information so that you can make smart bets and then hiding them behind your own personal paywall.
Well, it's just a bonus for the people that are kind enough to pay less than a cup of coffee, $2.99 a month on Twitter/X. Just super follow for that. We've been having a pretty good fall Really good
also,
call.
to promote your other endeavor, you have bought into a company where you are more of a Canes insider than you are here. And
Can I just say this is my favorite postgame of all time?
I want to. Well, I'm just getting started promoting some of the things we have going on around here. You have bought ownership in a company that is doing Kane-specific information for people who care about this the way you do. So tell people about that as well.
Thank you very much, Dan. I sincerely appreciate that. We do daily content over at Canes Insight. D-Money and Peter Reeves do a fantastic job. We cover all the Miami Hurricane sports once a week. I'm on there typically on Wednesdays. But this is a forum that's existed for a long time, and you know how closely related forum message board culture is with college football. It's some of the craziest of the crazy. Canes Insight has about 8 million posts in its history, over 8 million posts. So yeah, I was lucky enough to join with that enterprise, and we're doing really good stuff. And again, it's not just for football, women's basketball, baseball, men's college basketball. It's very Hurricanes intensive, and I'm really enjoying it. And thank you for the opportunity.
Jess,
to
why are
promote.
you making
Enough
faces?
with the Canes. We need to talk about this Texas fan, Dan, that we've been wanting to talk about this kid all week. He went viral at the Texas game for just having the most magnificent head of hair. And now he's doing interviews. He's been in the Daily Mail. He did this interview with the Daily Mail on TikTok.
I looked like him in college, I would say. I had hair like
No,
that. in
he
college.
did have hair like that.
I did.
He
yes.
did have hair like
One
that.
of my original, I think my original column photo. You guys could probably
You know
find
what?
my original newspaper.
I drew
Yeah.
devil horns on that photo of Dan when I was like 7 years
I
old.
had hair like
Before
that,
the
very
internet.
poofy, very poofy.
Dan, this kid's hair is just absolutely
It looks
outrageous.
photoshopped.
And he's having fun with this. So he went on this, did this interview with the Daily Mail where he talked about what he wants to do now that he's become an internet meme, and that, you know, he found out he was a meme because all of his friends from high school were texting his high school Spanish group chat, and they were like, "You're a meme," and he was like, "What?" Anyways, listen to what his big dreams are with his meme stardom.
Literally, as soon as the game ends, I turn around to my friends, and they're all on their phones, just in shock, and I'm like, "What's up?" And they go, "You're a meme, Walter." I know Matthew McConaughey was cutting players' hair. Maybe he can cut mine on the field. I don't know. Raise some money for cancer awareness. I have my grandmother just recently got diagnosed with breast cancer and then beat it. If I can get onto the Talk to a podcast, I think that would be a life goal I could check off my bucket list.
I missed the joke because they were counting down in my ear. I didn't hear anything that you guys were laughing at.
It's better that way.
I was going to make a joke that he's like, I bet you he's going to want to be on Talk to and he actually said that that's a dream of his.
I love this kid.
Raise money for cancer, or I'll go on the Talk to a podcast.
Why not both?
He was wearing the same shirt because you have to when you're famous for 3 seconds over one thing. Put up on the screen, please, my original column photo. This isn't actually even the one that I was thinking of, although this one's pretty good as well, I would say.
Close.
I have another one that's even poofier.
How
I
old
think.
were you in this photo?
Early 20s, I'm going to say.
No.
You think I look 30?
You look younger now than you do in that photo.
So you have me being how old?
No es
in
pa'
this-
tanto, Jess. No es pa' tanto. No es pa' tanto.
We have a couple of other things
That's an old 20. I'm sorry.
to promote here. One of
Young
them,
Dan taking strays.
I don't understand what's happening.
Old Dan getting complimented. How about that?
Okay, yeah,
It
that's
was the 90s.
the other.
Wait, was it?
Hard living.
Pre-internet again? This is the one that I was thinking of.
yeah.
Although I guess I got my hair cut a little bit shorter there. So
Yeah,
What are
you look
doing in
very
this
young in
photo?
that
You look like you're
picture.
hiking a football.
Why are you so hell-bent on out-poofing this guy?
that's what I looked like when I was in high school
He's
and
got the
college.
Blanche Devereaux.
Is it one of your lifelong dreams to go on Talk to Ooh, you should do that, though.
I should do
Seriously, in terms of audience acquisition.
Ooh, you should have her on South Beach Sessions.
We could
What
use the
happened
rub.
to your dimple?
Thank you for mentioning South Beach Sessions. It's one of the things that I want to promote here in a very promotional post game. Another one is the pitch clock, which Jeremy has done a very cool job with. I'm looking forward to hearing what he has to say about this World Series because he's the only one here like me who actually cares about baseball. The rest of you are embarrassing.
Wait till you hear the basketball show we cooked up. Shot clock. Coming your way soon, Dano.
You and Jeremy have an offshoot brand of just various clocks.
Tick, tick.
Well, now we do.
South Beach Sessions, the reason that I was in California for a week on top of other business is because we are fortifying the South Beach Sessions property, and I really enjoyed everything that we did in California. We have so much material that I interviewed Pat Riley for 2 hours this week, and we're not going to be able to play it until after the season.
What?
We've just got a lot of different stuff that we've gotten done over the last. I'm going to get criticized whenever the Pat Riley thing does run, because I'm not going to ask him any of the hard questions about why they're 9-31. And Jimmy Butler that's like set fire to something in the locker room. People are going to say it's a soft interview. It's because it was done before the season and because we did so much in Los Angeles. But one of the things that we did in Los Angeles is we sat down with Skip Bayless, and that's going to come out at 2 o'clock today on YouTube. I'm going to give you a clip because how do you guys think the first thing my wife said to me as I was leaving the house to go do it is, "You've talked a lot of shit about that dude." Like, I thought you didn't like him. Why are you talking to him?
On top of things.
Is what she was asking me. She doesn't know anything about anything. She's like, but I've heard you. You don't talk shit about like that about anybody. And so people are surprised I'm going to talk to Skip Bayless. How do you guys imagine that's going to go? Like when we get together, because I'm not gonna hide from what I've said about him.
I didn't know that you were interviewing him, and you sent Bayless to me in a chat, and I thought it was Rick Bayless, the celebrity chef, which is actually Skip's brother. But I thought it was far more likely that you'd be talking to a celebrity chef than the Skip Bayless. And then I saw the photo on social media in which you guys were – actually, I saw somebody do a head swap, which was, it was pretty funny.
Wait. Can you send it to me?
Yeah, I can send it to you. And I was shocked that it was indeed Skip Bayless because, yeah, you've talked some shit.
And so what are you expecting? Are you expecting fireworks?
I hope you fight him in the show, like you just say.
I'm expecting Skip has no idea that you talk crap about him.
I'm expecting you say Bayless to him at least once.
He does know I've talked shit about him. Well, this one of the things that I'm trying to do with South Beach Sessions, because we talked to Jim Rome as well. Like, I want to understand how people became who they became. Like, how did this happen that you're 72-year-old sports take guy who gets all his identity out of I've got to beat you in a sports argument? And so here's one of the exchanges. All of this will be out later today. I found it illuminating that how he became the guy who chases LeBron James across 20 years, because daddy and mommy really didn't love him and were drinking way too much. And so he hid in the sports identity of I'm going to be sports take guy. I've been pretty critical of you and debate culture and Stephen A. Smith. I don't know how much of that has gotten to you. I don't know how you feel about how much of that has gotten to you.
Stephen A., who you have grilled about ruining it all for all of us. Wasn't that your...
Contaminated it in a way that made the athlete a little less human than I would like him to be. But you guys also created a path for me where I was able to zig where the zagging was, because I became a player apologist, someone who was viewed as a player apologist, because I was less critical of the athlete than you guys was. And there's great money to be made in everything that we're doing. Some of it feels like professional wrestling. I know that you don't feel like a wrestling character.
No, I am completely the opposite of a wrestling character in that, to a fault, I'm as authentic and real as you can get. And it took Stephen A. a while to grasp the fact that while I loved him, I genuinely wanted to beat him every time we argued sports. It became known as debate, your least favorite word in the culture. And he realized over time, I'm as real as you can get to my core, that I take it very seriously, way more seriously than I take myself. But if you challenge me with the little red light on across the desk from me, I am going to fight you to the death, to the TV death.